My name is Alina, and until a few weeks ago, I thought my marriage was strong. Not perfect, not fairy tale beautiful, but something built on trust, companionship, and the belief that two people could rise together. I was wrong. It started on a cold Tuesday morning, the kind that feels heavy even before the day begins. I was in the kitchen preparing breakfast when my husband Daniel walked in. His expression was stiff, distant, as if he had already decided something long before entering the room. "Alina," he said, not even looking at me, "we need to talk." Those 4 words, they never lead to anything good. I wiped my hands on a towel and turned to face him. What happened? He didn't sit. He didn't soften. Instead, he placed a stack of papers on the table. Documents, neatly clipped. "I want a divorce." My breath caught. "What? Why? Did I do something?" He let out a frustrated sigh. "Alina, I can't do this anymore. I need a partner who brings something to the table. Someone who doesn't depend on me for everything. Someone who isn't financially useless." His words cut deeper than any knife. Financially useless. This was the man who once held my hands and promised me he didn't care if we lived in a small apartment or a palace, as long as we were together. But now, he had changed. Or maybe he had simply revealed who he truly was. "Daniel," I whispered, "I'm not useless. You're just poor, Alina," he snapped. "And I'm tired of carrying the weight. I deserve better." At that moment, something inside me broke, quietly, painfully. Before I could respond, he walked into the bedroom and came back with a suitcase. "I already packed your things." "You're kicking me out?" I whispered, hardly believing what I was hearing. "It's for the best. You'll figure something out." "You always do," I wanted to scream. I wanted to remind him that the reason I wasn't working was because we had agreed I would take care of his sick mother for a year. I wanted to remind him that I gave up my job, my stability, and my comfort, so his mother wouldn't be alone. But what would be the point? He had made up his mind. Within minutes, I was standing outside the apartment we had shared for 6 years. No money, no family nearby, no place to go. Just a small suitcase and a heart full of betrayal. That night, I found a cheap hostel on the outskirts of the city. The room smelled like damp clothes and loneliness, but it was all I could afford. I sat on the thin mattress, replaying the same thoughts over and over again. How could he do this? How could he throw me out like I meant nothing? How could he forget everything I did for him? But then a stronger question emerged. Why did he suddenly care so much about money? 3 days passed. 3 long days of crying, thinking, and trying to understand the man I had loved. I spent the mornings looking for job openings, the afternoons eating cheap noodles, and the nights staring at the ceiling, wondering how everything collapsed so quickly. Until the morning of the 3rd day, when something happened that would change everything. I received a phone call. Unknown number. I hesitated, then answered. "Hello?" A man's voice responded politely. "Good morning. Is this Mrs. Alina Carter?" I froze. That was still legally my name. "Yes. Who is this?" "This is Mr. Hall, the director of Carter & Wells legal firm. We need you to come to our office today regarding an urgent matter involving your late aunt." My late aunt? The one who passed away 6 months ago? The one no one ever mentioned again? I swallowed. "What matter?" "We can only discuss that in person. Please come as soon as possible." I hung up slowly, confused and anxious. Little did I know, that phone call was about to reveal a truth that would shatter Daniel's arrogant beliefs, a truth that would flip my entire life upside down, a truth that would make him realize the biggest mistake of his life. Because the woman he threw out for being poor wasn't poor at all. She was about to become one of the wealthiest women in the city, and he was about to regret everything. The next morning, I stood in front of a tall glass building downtown. Carter & Wells legal firm. My heart pounded. I hadn't slept. I hadn't eaten. I had spent the entire night wondering what a law firm could possibly want from me. A woman who had just been thrown out of her marriage for being poor. I took a deep breath and walked inside. The receptionist greeted me warmly and guided me to a meeting room. I sat there alone for a moment, staring at the wooden table, trying to steady my breathing. Then the door opened. A middle-aged man with kind eyes entered. He extended his hand. "Mrs. Carter, I'm Mr. Hall. Thank you for coming." I tried to smile. "You said it's about my aunt?" He nodded and opened a large brown envelope. "Yes, your aunt, Ms. Eleanor, named you the sole beneficiary of her entire estate." I blinked, confused. My aunt? Her estate? I don't understand. She lived a simple life. She never seemed wealthy. Mr. Hall smiled knowingly. Ms. Eleanor was a very private woman. In truth, she was the owner of 3 properties, a set of international investments, and a trust fund that has been accumulating for over 25 years. My breath caught. I felt the blood drain from my face. Are you saying? He slid a folder across the table. This is the full summary of your inheritance. The total value now amounts to $48.6 million. For a moment, the room spun. I gripped the chair to steady myself. 48 million? Me? The woman who was sleeping in a hostel last night because her husband kicked her out? My mouth went dry. There must be a mistake, I whispered. Mr. Hall shook his head gently. No mistake. Your aunt adored you. She said you were the only one who ever treated her like family. Tears filled my eyes. I remembered her gentle smile, the summers I spent with her as a child, the way she always told me, Alina, your heart will make you rich one day. Was this what she meant? I covered my mouth, letting the shock sink in. Mrs. Carter, Mr. Hall continued, your aunt left you a letter as well. He handed it to me carefully. My hands trembled as I opened the envelope. Inside was a handwritten note. My dear Alina, if you are reading this, it means life has brought you a challenge. But you are stronger than you know. Everything I built, I leave to you. Use it wisely, live beautifully, and never let anyone tell you your worth. With love, Aunt Eleanor. Tears flowed freely. All the pain of the last few days, the betrayal, the humiliation, the disbelief, poured out of me in sobs. My aunt had saved me, even after death. Mr. Hall waited patiently. When I managed to calm down, he spoke again. We can transfer funds to you immediately so you don't face any struggles. And we will begin the process of granting you full control of all assets. My voice shook. Thank you. I don't even know what to say. There's no rush, he replied with a warm smile. Just know that your life is about to change. When I stepped outside the building, the sunlight felt different, brighter, warmer. For the first time in days, I breathed without feeling pain in my chest. I walked to a nearby bench and sat quietly, staring at the city around me. A week ago, I was a devoted wife, a caretaker, a woman who gave up her career to support her husband and his family. 3 days ago, I became a homeless, poor, abandoned wife who wasn't good enough. But now I was a multimillionaire, not because of luck, but because someone recognized my worth when the man I loved failed to. My phone buzzed suddenly. Daniel, my ex-husband. I froze. Why was he calling? I let it ring. But then a message came through. Alina, we need to talk ASAP. Even through text, I could sense panic. How did he know? Did someone tell him? Did he see me at the law firm? My heart tightened. Should I reply? Should I ignore him? Should I give him the satisfaction of thinking I cared? Before I could decide, another message came. It's important, please pick up. I stared at my phone for a long moment. Then I placed it in my bag and stood up. There would be a time for answers, but not yet. Right now I needed to breathe. I needed to think. I needed to understand the weight of what I had been given. Daniel wanted something from me, but for the first time in my life, he wasn't going to get it. Because the woman he threw away like she was worthless was no longer standing in the ruins he left behind. She was rising, and he was about to learn what real loss feels like. For the rest of the day, I tried to distract myself. I walked around the city, bought a small notebook to jot things down, and even treated myself to a warm meal, something comforting after the chaos of the last few days. But no matter what I did, my ex-husband's messages echoed in my mind. Why did he want to talk? Was he feeling guilty? Or had he finally realized that throwing me out was a mistake? I shook my head. No, men like Daniel don't feel guilt. They feel fear. Fear that their control is slipping. Even so, a storm of anticipation swirled in my chest as evening approached. I checked into a nice hotel, nothing extravagant, just comfortable. A place where I could breathe and think without the noise of heartbreak. I had just stepped out of the shower when my phone buzzed again. This time, his message was blunt. Alina, why haven't you responded? I know what happened today. Call me back. My chest tightened. He knew, somewhere, somehow, he found out about the inheritance. A cold realization washed over me, of course. The law firm had likely contacted him as my emergency contact, the one still listed from when we were married. Or perhaps someone from town saw me entering the firm and whispered the news. Either way, he knew, and now he wanted me back. A bitter laugh escaped my lips. Just 3 days ago, he stood in our doorway, smug and self-satisfied, telling me, "I can't be married to someone who brings nothing to the table. You're just a burden." Now that burden was a multimillionaire. I sat on the bed, staring at my phone. I wasn't ready to talk. Not yet. That night, I slept deeply for the first time in days. In the morning, sunlight filled the room. I ordered breakfast to my door. I actually smiled, something I thought I wouldn't do for a long time. But peace never lasts long in a story like mine. At around noon, as I walked out of the elevator into the hotel lobby, I heard a voice that made my stomach drop. "Alina!" I froze. I turned slowly. There he was, Daniel, my ex-husband. Tall, polished, wearing the same expensive coat he always used to brag about. But the confidence he usually wore like a crown, it was gone. His eyes were wide, almost desperate. He walked toward me with quick steps. "There you are," he said, voice shaking slightly. "I've been trying to reach you." I folded my arms. I saw. He took a breath, trying to steady himself. "Can we talk, please?" I tilted my head, studying him. He didn't look regretful. He didn't look apologetic. He looked scared. "What do you want, Daniel?" He glanced around the lobby, lowering his voice. "Not here. Let's sit somewhere private." I shook my head. "No. Whatever you have to say it now." His jaw tightened. Then he tried a different approach. A soft voice, one he used only when he wanted something. "Alina, I made a mistake." I raised an eyebrow. "Oh, was that before or after you threw me out like trash?" He winced. "Please don't make this harder." I laughed coldly. "I'm not making anything harder. You're just facing the consequences of your own actions." He swallowed hard. Then his facade cracked. "I know about the inheritance," he whispered. There it was, the truth. The reason behind the sudden rush of regret. I heard it's a lot. Enough for us to fix things. Enough to start over. I stared at him in disbelief. "Us?" I repeated. He nodded quickly. "Of course, we've had our problems, but we can work through them. We were good together." "Stop!" I cut him off. "Just stop." He blinked, startled by my firmness. "You didn't love me, Daniel. You loved what I did for you. You loved how I supported you, how I kept your life together while you enjoyed the benefits." His face hardened. "That's not true." I took a step closer and lowered my voice. "You left me thinking I had nothing, and now you want me back because I have everything." He looked away, jaw clenching. I continued. 3 days ago, you didn't care if I slept on the street. Now you suddenly want a future with me? Why? Because I'm wealthy?" He tried to grab my hand, but I stepped back. "I'm sorry," he murmured. I panicked. I thought you didn't bring anything into the marriage." I felt my heart grow cold. "So you divorced me because you thought I was worthless." He opened his mouth, but no words came. I nodded slowly. "That's all I needed to know." I walked past him toward the door. But before leaving, I turned slightly and said in a calm, sharp voice, "Daniel, your biggest mistake wasn't divorcing me. It was believing my worth depended on what I owned." He stood frozen, mouth slightly open. "And now," I added softly, "you'll never get close enough to benefit from what I have." I walked out of the hotel. My heart was steady, my steps were strong. For the first time in my life, I wasn't the one begging to be loved. I walked out of the hotel with my head held high, leaving Daniel standing there, shocked, speechless, and powerless. For the first time in years, I felt free. But freedom can be strange. It feels light, and yet the world suddenly becomes heavy with possibilities you never imagined for yourself. I took a deep breath and stepped onto the street. I had money, I had independence. But I still didn't have answers. Why did my aunt leave me everything? We barely spoke. We lived in different worlds. Yet she left me a fortune big enough to rebuild a life I hadn't even dreamed of. I needed to understand. I needed to know why. The next day, I returned to the law firm. Mr. Hayes, the attorney, greeted me with a gentle smile. "Welcome back, Ms. Alina. Please, take a seat." He slid a thick envelope across the table. "What is this?" I asked. He folded his hands. "Your aunt left you a letter. She instructed us to give it to you only after you'd officially received your inheritance." My heartbeat quickened. A letter? From the woman I barely knew? With trembling hands, I opened the envelope. Her handwriting was neat, elegant, just like I remembered her. I began reading. "My dear Alina, If you are reading this, it means I am no longer in this world. But I want you to know something important. I watched you suffer in silence. I paused. My breath hitched. I continued reading. You were married to a man who never appreciated you. A man who drained your spirit and dimmed your light. I saw it. I heard about it. More than once, I tried to reach out. But you always said you were fine. You always said you were happy. Tears welled in my eyes. She knew. She knew what I was going through. Even when I pretended everything was perfect. My fingers trembled as I read further. Alina, you are stronger than you think. Your kindness is rare. Your loyalty is precious. But loyalty to the wrong person can destroy even the strongest soul. I swallowed hard. It felt like she was speaking directly to my deepest wounds. I did not leave you this inheritance because of blood. I left it to you because you deserved a chance to start over. Something told me that one day you would need it. A sob broke free. My aunt had seen everything I tried so hard to hide. Use this money to rebuild yourself, to find joy, to live, not just survive. And remember, sometimes God breaks your heart to save your soul. By the time I finished the letter, tears were streaming down my face. I held the pages to my chest, overwhelmed. She understood me more than anyone ever had. More than my own husband ever bothered to. Mr. Hayes gave me a moment before speaking. Your aunt was a remarkable woman, he said softly. She cared deeply about you. I wiped my tears and nodded. Yes, she did. And then he added something that made my heart freeze. There's one more thing. He reached into a drawer and pulled out a small USB drive. She said that this is something you must see when you're ready. I stared at it, anxiety swirling in my stomach. What is on it? He hesitated. Evidence, he said, about people in your life. People who wronged you. My breath caught. Evidence? People who wronged me? Was Daniel involved? His family? Someone else? I took the USB with trembling fingers. Thank you, I whispered. He nodded sympathetically. If you need anything, guidance, legal assistance, security, contact me at any time. Security? My pulse quickened. What exactly was on this USB? That night, I sat in my hotel room with the USB drive placed in front of me like a ticking bomb. I stared at it, wondering, fearful, curious. What secrets could it possibly contain? And more importantly, was I ready to face the truth? Taking a deep breath, I plugged it into my laptop. The screen flickered, a single video file appeared. It was labeled only one word, Betrayal. My stomach dropped. I clicked play. The video loaded. At first, all I saw was the inside of a fancy restaurant. Then the camera panned, and my entire world stopped. Sitting at the table, laughing, holding hands, was Daniel. And across from him, a woman I recognized instantly, his ex-girlfriend. The one he swore he had no contact with. The one he told me I was overreacting about. The one he said meant nothing. In the video, he leaned in and kissed her. My vision blurred, but the video wasn't over. Another clip appeared. This time, Daniel was in our home, talking on the phone. His voice was sharp, irritated. She's useless. I'll get rid of her soon. I just need the divorce to go through. Then I'm free. I felt like the floor had vanished beneath me. Another clip. He was in his car, talking to someone I didn't recognize. She doesn't know anything. She thinks I love her. Once she's gone, I'm done with this charity case. My breath shook. I felt like I couldn't inhale. But the worst clip wasn't even about me. It was about my aunt. Daniel's voice sounding annoyed. The old woman? She won't leave Alina anything. She barely knows her, he laughed. And even if she does, we'll take it. Trust me, Alina is easy to control. I froze. Cold numb. Anger, hot, violent, rushed through my veins. My aunt had known all of this. She'd collected this evidence to protect me, to warn me. And now I understood. Daniel never loved me. Not even for a moment. He loved what he could take from me, what he could control, what he could break. But now I had the truth. Now I had proof. And now, Daniel had no idea what was coming. The next morning, Maya woke up earlier than usual. Her heart was still heavy, but now there was also a spark inside her. A spark of confidence, a spark of rebirth. She got dressed, tied her hair, and walked to the balcony of her new apartment. Rome was waking up beneath her, the streets glowing gold, the sound of scooters buzzing, cafes opening their doors. For the first time in days, Maya felt like she belonged somewhere. But the battle wasn't over. As she sat down with a cup of coffee, her phone buzzed. A message from Mark. Her hands froze. She opened it hesitantly. "Maya, I need to talk to you. It's important." She stared at the screen in disbelief. Why was he messaging her now? He had thrown her out. He had humiliated her. He had treated her like trash. But before she could reply, another message appeared. "Please, just one chance to explain. Meet me today, same cafe." Maya took a deep breath. She didn't owe him anything, but she also wasn't afraid anymore. She typed back, "Fine, 1 hour." She put down her phone. The decision was made. The cafe was busy when Maya arrived. Mark was already sitting at a corner table, fidgeting nervously. The moment he saw her, he stood. "Maya, thank you for coming." She sat without responding. Mark swallowed hard. I made a mistake, a terrible mistake." Maya raised an eyebrow. "A mistake? You kicked your wife out of the house and took everything she owned. That's not a mistake, Mark. That's cruelty." He lowered his head. "I thought you were hiding things from me. Money secrets. I don't know what I was thinking. I let people influence me." "Who?" Maya asked sharply. He hesitated. "My sister. She said you were using me, that you only married me to move to Europe." Maya almost laughed. "So you believed her? After everything I gave up for you?" He didn't respond. She continued. "Do you know what I used to be before coming here?" "No, of course you don't. You never asked." Mark blinked, confused. Maya leaned forward, her voice calm but strong. "Before marrying you, I ran a successful food business with my family. We supplied to restaurants, hotels, and grocery chains. I left everything behind because you said you wanted us to build a life here together. And I was good at it, better than you ever imagined." He stared at her like seeing her for the first time. "I didn't know. You never said." "You never cared," she replied. Silence fell between them. Mark covered his face with his hands. "Maya, I'm sorry, I thought you were lying. I thought you were hiding money. I let jealousy blind me. I don't know what came over me." She looked at him with a calm expression. "Mark, you didn't break me. You broke yourself." He shook his head. "I want you back. I want to fix this." Maya stayed silent for a moment. Then she spoke softly. "Fix yourself first." Mark looked stunned. She stood up to leave, but he grabbed her hand, not forcefully, just desperately. "Maya, please don't go." She gently pulled her hand away. "Goodbye, Mark." And with that, she walked out of the cafe. For the first time, she didn't look back. Maya walked down the street with a freedom she had never felt. She was no longer the woman who cried alone on a cold Italian street. She was strong, independent, reborn. Her phone buzzed again, this time from Isabella, the woman who had hired her. "Maya, can you come to the office today? We want to discuss something important." Maya smiled. She replied, "On my way." She didn't know what awaited her. A new life, a new job, a new destiny, but she was ready for anything. Because she finally understood one thing. No one determines your worth. No one decides your future, only you do. And Maya was just getting started. Maya walked into the elegant office building with steady confidence. Her clothes were simple, her belongings few, but her spirit now carried the weight of 1,000 rebirths. "Maya, come sit. I have something exciting to tell you." Maya sat, curious but calm. Isabella opened a folder on her desk and turned it toward Maya. Inside were documents, menus, concept layouts. A restaurant proposal. Maya blinked in surprise. Isabella clasped her hands together. "I didn't hire you just for simple tasks. I saw something in you, a spark, an instinct. When you talked about food, your eyes came alive. You think like a chef, like a businesswoman." Maya's heart raced. "I'm offering you a partnership," Isabella continued. "A new restaurant, Italian fusion. Your flavors, your ideas, your creativity, combined with my experience and my network." Maya stared at her speechless. A partnership? Her own place? Her second chance? Isabella smiled warmly. "You deserve this, and I believe in you." Maya felt tears burn at the corners of her eyes. She whispered, almost afraid to believe it. "Why me?" Isabella leaned back with a soft smile. "Because you remind me of myself, a woman who fought her battles alone and still stood tall." Maya lowered her gaze, overwhelmed. "Isabella, I don't have money to invest." Isabella waved her hand casually. "I know, and I don't care. I'll invest. You bring the soul." Maya covered her mouth, tears flowing freely now. This was everything she had lost, coming back to her in a form even greater. Her new beginning, her new identity, her new power. After accepting the partnership, Maya spent the next days working harder than ever, designing menus, creating fusion recipes, working late nights, testing every dish until it was perfect. The kitchen became her battlefield, and she conquered it with passion. Her signature dish, a mix of South Asian spices and Italian aroma, impressed every chef Isabella invited for tasting. Word started spreading. A new chef, a new flavor, something big was coming. Maya didn't just regain her old identity, she surpassed it. One evening, while practicing a new recipe, her phone buzzed. A voice message from Mark. She hesitated, but pressed play. Maya, I heard about your new restaurant. I'm proud of you and ashamed of myself. I didn't know what I had. I was blind. I hope someday you can forgive me, even if you never come back. Maya listened silently. No anger, no pain, just peace. She deleted the message without replying. Her past no longer controlled her. She had outgrown it. Weeks later, the restaurant was ready. Warm lights, élégant décor. A fusion of cultures, just like Maya's journey. The grand opening night arrived. The restaurant buzzed with guests, influencers, critics, and food lovers. Maya stepped out from the kitchen. Her apron clean, her smile confident. The room erupted in applause. Isabella whispered, "Go on, Maya. They're here for you." Maya walked to the center, her voice steady. "Thank you all for coming. This restaurant isn't just food. It's survival. It's hope. It's proof that even when life breaks you, you can rebuild yourself stronger than before." The crowd applauded again, and just then, a familiar face appeared at the door. Mark, standing quietly, watching her success with eyes full of regret. But Maya didn't break, she didn't falter. She didn't shrink, she lifted her chin. Her life didn't revolve around him anymore. He was a chapter she had closed forever. As the night went on, guests praised her dishes. Critics wrote reviews, people asked for pictures. Maya wasn't just a survivor anymore. She was a name, a brand, a rising star, and deep inside she whispered to herself, "I didn't lose anything. I found myself." With being thrown out into darkness. But now, she stood in a room filled with light she created with her own hands. Her destiny was no longer uncertain, it was unstoppable. The restaurant's grand opening was in full bloom. Laughter, clinking glasses, whispers of admiration, and the warm aroma of Maya's signature dishes filled the air. But Maya's heart remained steady, unshaken. She had earned this success. Every smile in the room, every compliment, every camera flash, they belonged to her. Then she noticed him again, Mark, standing near the entrance, frozen, watching the room that should have been his to witness, but wasn't. He approached slowly, guilt weighing down each step. "Maya!" His voice was low, almost breaking. Maya looked at him, calm, dignified, strong. "Yes?" Mark swallowed hard. "You're incredible." "I didn't know. I didn't realize who you truly were." Maya gave a small, polite smile. "That's because you never looked." Her words pierced sharper than any blade. Mark took a breath. "I came to apologize. I treated you horribly. I judged you. I abandoned you. I thought you were useless." Maya's expression didn't change. "And now I know I was wrong. I want to make things right. Maya, can we talk? Maybe we can try again?" The audacity. The crowd around them fell silent. People glanced over, sensing the tension. Isabella stepped closer, ready to protect Maya if needed. But Maya raised her hand gently. She could handle this. She stood straighter, her voice clear and unwavering. "Mark," she said softly yet firmly, "I am not the woman you threw out. And I am not the woman who begged for affection." Mark blinked, confused. But Maya continued, her voice like steel. "Life gave me two choices, break or rebuild." She smiled, a smile full of victory. "And I chose to rebuild." Mark's eyes glistened. "Maya, I still love..." "Stop." Her tone froze him. "You didn't love me. You loved control. You loved convenience. You loved the version of me you could manipulate." He looked down, ashamed. "But the woman standing here today, she is not yours to claim." The crowd subtly nodded. Mark whispered, barely audible, "So, this is goodbye?" Maya smiled softly. "No, goodbye happened the day you pushed me out. This is me finally closing the door." Mark took a step back. In that moment, he realized something brutal. He didn't just lose her, he lost the best thing that ever walked into his life. He turned silently and walked away, disappearing into the night. And Maya? She didn't even look back. Later that night, after the guests left and the restaurant quieted down, Maya stood alone in the center. The soft lights reflected off the tables she arranged with her own hands. Her dream wasn't just alive, it was thriving. Isabella wrapped an arm around her shoulders. "You did it," she whispered. Maya nodded, tears of gratitude shimmering in her eyes. "We did it." From the window, she watched the city lights dance across the Italian streets. Her loneliness was gone, her fear was gone, her doubt was gone. She had something now she never had before, herself, her strength, her future, and no one, not betrayal, not abandonment, not heartbreak, could take that away again. As the screen fades in your video, Maya's voice should echo. Sometimes life destroys you, so you can rebuild the version of yourself you were always meant to be. Don't fear being alone. Fear staying where you are not valued. Walk away, rise higher, and let your success answer everything.